Hey y'all, I guess I'm going live for real now. Had a little bit of challenges just getting started, but I really felt like I needed to do this video, and it really didn't matter to me if one person saw it or five people see it, 10 people, 10,000 people see it. But you know what? It is something that I really needed to share, and maybe it's just my little 9-year old who finds my videos on TikTok and wherever, and he likes them, and that's all good. Um, and I'm gonna try to make it through this video without crying. And that's one of the things that I really need to do is make it through the video without crying. And so, the name of my video, as you saw, is the Tabitha Brown effect. And just a little bit of history. No, I am not talking about cryptocurrency today. I am not talking about blockchain technology. I'm not talking about any of that. I am literally, and I'm not cooking with crypto because y'all know I even was doing cooking with crypto at one time, coming up with recipes and things to try to educate people about cryptocurrency. But today, I'm talking about Tabitha Brown, the Tabitha Brown. I didn't tag her in this. I don't even know how to tag her in this. I don't even do my own social media for the most part, which you're about to hear and see what I'm going to share with you about today. And again, I'm going to try to make it through this without crying because I am very, very emotional um, about what has transpired. And so, that being said, about 2019, I was maybe not even 2019, maybe the end of 2020. I was introduced to Tabitha Brown via uh, my employees. And so, for those of you that don't know me, my husband and I owned one of the only black brick and mortar cryptocurrency banks in the United States where you could walk in and buy and sell cryptocurrency. And so we had this business establishment. And at the time, we had close to 19 employees, and mostly everybody's job was in marketing because we have been in a space that has been so hard to penetrate the community that I want to serve. And that's part of the challenge. I feel so strongly about educating my community on cryptocurrency that I cut myself short. So a lot of times when we're marketing and doing things, people are like, are you sure that you just want to market to your community? And again, as I try to make it through this without crying, absolutely, I want to educate my community. And that being said, my marketing team at the end of 2020, we were coming out of COVID. A lot of things were going on. I had approximately 19 employees in my cryptocurrency exchange called Crypto Blockchain Plug. And a couple of my employees that shared an office, as they were talking to me about marketing, they said, we need you to work on some branding and we need to get you a new logo and we need to do all these things. And so, um, as they were formulating together, these employees, they were getting me some color schemes and talking to me about what I should wear and how I should market to the community because we knew we had a good thing, but it's hard to educate a community on something that they don't know that they need yet. And right now, I know our community needs education. I've always known it since I opened my doors in 2019. I actually opened it because I knew our community was going to be at this point, at this time, and really still not have what they need. And so, how this was going was we were there as about 19 employees. I had a whole marketing team. They're putting all this stuff together. And they say, you know what? You need to do something and you need to do something different. And so what we want you to do, come in our office. And so I came in the office and on the bookshelf in the office, and I believe the employees, and they won't mind me saying their names, Saris, Tuesday, and Jasandra, they were like, we got this lady, her name is Tabitha Brown, and you need to check her out and just kind of see what she does. And so on the shelf, there was a cookbook. of Tabitha Brown. And I'm looking at this cookbook and it's just fabulous. And I'm going through it and I see her on the cover and I'm like, okay, let me pay attention to Tabitha Brown. Let me go back in my office and research. But anybody that knows me closely and knows me in this cryptocurrency space, life has been life. And so when I took a look at Tabitha Brown, of course she knows she cooks because I saw a cookbook in their office. And then I saw that she did she had a children's program and she was doing all this stuff, singing and dancing with kids. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm on the right path. I got a crypto kids camp, looks pretty good. And so as I'm scrolling through social media, and again, I'm telling you, my marketing team has done my social media since I started in this cryptocurrency space, several different teams trying to get this thing going and really couldn't get it up. But this particular group was really good. And a lot of the stuff that you see right now is stuff that they actually had in place that's finally coming to fruition. But that being said, as I look through Tabitha Brown's social media, I realized and recognized that she was saying the same opening every time she opened up a video. She was saying her lines, and I'm not going to use her taglines. And so I said, you know what? This is awesome. And at the time, being introduced to Tabitha Brown via social media from my team, I came up with my own slogan, which is why now today you hear me say, hey, y'all, it's your girl, Naja Roberts. And if you look at Tabitha Brown, every video, she starts it off the same way. And so me emulating her, I was watching the messenger and not necessarily the message. And I say that honestly, and I say that innocently to tell you that the last couple of days has brought something together that I really can't explain. And I'm going to share that with you in a second. And so as I'm looking through her social media, I see that her husband, she retired her husband from LAPD at one point and over the last couple of years. I knew that, again, there was a cookbook, so she was a cook. And I knew that some of her stuff was in Target because I've seen a couple of things as I'm scrolling. But again, never listening to the message, more to the messenger and like how she carries herself and the lifestyle and those sorts of things. And so kind of fast forward to where we are today. Again, not knowing much about Tabitha Brown, these last couple of weeks have been really, really restless for me. I'm not sleeping a lot. I'm thinking, I'm trying to figure out how I make things run, how I make things work. And my husband's been sleeping. I'm laying in the bed. I'm going through social media. I'm kind of messing with AI, just trying to figure out how I can, put my messages together and show up more for my community. And I come across this video with Tabitha Brown, and she's basically explaining that her and her husband came here to California from North Carolina. And you can listen to her story. I'm not going to tell the whole thing, but it's relevant to what I'm talking about today. And again, I'm going to try to get through this without crying. Um, and she was working odd jobs. And she was not necessarily odd jobs, but she talked about driving Uber, and she talked about having these positions for 4, maybe 5 years. And I'm not even really certain of the amount of time, but she said she went doing these odd jobs, having children and different things happening to her and her husband, talking about the fact that she had to go back to work. And what really hit me was she said that one year, and it was a recent year, I literally had to start counting on my fingers. And I think it was about 2019. And again, don't quote me. I tell you, but I got the message. She was basically saying she was making about $35,000, and she went from $40,000 one year to her $1 million year. And she said, and I just heard, and I don't know when she made the video because I still can't find the video, but she said she went from making that $30,000 to $40,000 a year to making $1 million the following year. And she said she didn't know who she was talking to, but she had to give the message to keep going and to know that you're in the right place, doing the right things, and to look for your signs. And just be guided and be encouraged and all of that. And so I got up the day before yesterday, and I was super excited. I was like, my mom is living here with me because she was a victim of the fires. My grandfather, who's 100, is living here with me because he was a victim of the Altadena fires as well. We got a house full of people, and I was excited. I wanted my mom to see this video because my mother has been one of my biggest supporters. And no matter what I've wanted to do as an entrepreneur over these last 30 years, my mother has been ride or die. If I needed to borrow something for a little while, if I wanted to do something for a little while, my mother was there. And so I thought I saved the video. Again, not really knowing how to work social media like I should. I thought I saved the video, and I was just perplexed yesterday morning when I couldn't find this video that I wanted my mom and my husband to see. And so what actually happened was I stood in the kitchen in this very spot looking for this video about her telling her story and how she went from 40,000 to $1 million in a year. And I found another video because I knew that the video she had was very raw, very unscripted. She was just talking to the computer, to her phone, or to the audience who was listening live. And she told this story about her mom passing away, and her and her mother having this conversation about when her mother would eventually pass away from the cancer or whatever it was. She had ALS. That's what she said. And she was talking to her mom, and she was like, they were talking about death because she knew her mom was on her way out. And basically, the conversation was that her grandmother would give nickels or put nickels out as an angel to her mother because her grandmother had passed on, and that's how her mother would know that she was doing the right thing at the right time. And so Tabitha Brown says, well, Mom, what are you going to do to so that I know that you're here with me? Because we know that you're passing away, and you're my best friend, you're my confidant, you're who I talk to. And again, I'm very grateful to have my mother. And so she said, well, since your grandmother, I would always find nickels, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna double that, and I'm gonna give you a dime. I'm gonna put out dimes. And so I was thinking back to my life and my situation and the struggles that I've had in this cryptocurrency space to just keep my business open, to show the government that I was a real business and I wasn't doing things the wrong way. And then my asking the Most High to bring me signs and let me know that I'm in the right place at the right time. And mine, ladies and gentlemen, has to do with birth dates, and it has to do with names. And I know that when I meet a person, if it's a birthday or if it's a name or something that's familiar, that I'm in the right place at the right time. And it happens all the time. So Tabitha Brown telling this story about these nickels that her grandmother would leave after she had transitioned to the dimes that Tabitha Brown's mom said that she would leave. I was like, man, that is great, because not just me, there's some similarities to this. And I started thinking, I'm like, look, my great grandmother died, and my mother was so sad because she was a living grandmother that she told my grandmother that she would find somebody to replace her. And I was born on July 5th on my great grandmother's birthday. And this starts a litany of birthdays and names that go together. And so my grandmother, my father's mother, died on my birthday. Another birthday thing. And then my son's birthday, my other grandmother, my mother's mother, died on her birthday. And so it just was all of these things. And then again, there's names and birthdays and things like that. But with Tabitha, it was these dimes, right? And she's telling this story. And to some people, it sounds ridiculous. And when I tell my story about names and people's birthday, people are like, oh, wow. And so I've really, over the last couple of weeks, just really been asking God to show me some signs. Let me know that I'm doing the right thing, because I've spent millions, I've lost millions of dollars trying to educate our community in this cryptocurrency space. And so I'm listening to Tabitha tell the story. She says her mom died. She went to the funeral in North Carolina. She comes back home, and she and her husband find dimes in the bed, and they don't know how these dimes got there. And then it was brought back to her recollection, the conversation that she had with her mom, that her mom told her she would always be there for her, and she would leave those dimes for her to know that she's in the right place doing the right thing. And then she talked about her husband kind of saying, oh, get away from me, I don't want to hear nothing about that, which is kind of the sort of same thing my husband does. Like, we ain't talking no hocus pocus, and this ain't about hocus pocus. We ain't talking about none of that, and neither was she. But it was her sign. And so she talked about her husband screaming in the bathroom and her running in there to find out, and then there were dimes in the bottom of her bathtub. And and that was giving her a sign. And then she talked about another incident where that day that she was doing the video, that a dime fell out of somebody's bag at the grocery store, and the man turned around and was like, you can have it. And so I'm listening to her story, and I'm like, man, God, just continue to show me the signs that you've shown me, because I need to see that. I need to understand that I'm in the right place at the right time doing the right thing. And so yesterday, I took my children to Disneyland. Me and my husband took our children to Disneyland, and we were there all day. We were exhausted. We stayed till the park closed. We got home a little after 1 a.m. We're trying to get the food out of the back of the car, and my husband is normally would be going to sleep because he was super tired and he didn't want to deal with it. But he comes in the house, and one of our girls had a cup, and she has a Stanley cup. In fact, I put the Stanley cup right here so you all can see what I'm saying. And this Stanley cup catches the bottom of the cup holder in the car. And he comes in the house and he's fussing. And he's like, I just cleaned the car, and I want them to I clean everything in the car. There's nothing in the car. I want this car to stay clean. And we're at 1:30 at night. All the kids are getting their stuff out from Disneyland and getting all their trash and gathering their stuff. She comes in the door with that cup, and in this cup holder is attached. And he's pissed because of this additional piece that she got from her biological mother, and she loves this little attachment, and it catches the cup holder in the car. And I'm putting away stuff, my mom's up putting away stuff, and he talks about this piece, and he unseparates it. He separates it, and when he separates it, I'm doing my thing. He goes upstairs to go to bed. It may be 1:45, and I walk over, ladies and gentlemen, and for whatever reason, I picked up this cup, and I got to get y'all to see that there were dimes in this cup. And I just almost, again, my husband cleaned out the car, and he was all in their cup holders. He saw the dimes, and I even had to tell him the story this morning because these dimes were in the bottom of there. And it was what Tabitha had talked about. And no, I'm not thinking that or saying, well, I borrowed Tabitha's mother because I needed to know that I'm doing the right thing at the right time. And we've been struggling with a lot of things as it relates to the kids, and particularly the kid with that cup that the dimes were under, and just my marriage and my business, and just trying to figure things out. And I just know that I wasn't on social media probably for the first time looking at what the messenger was doing. I was finally listening to the message. And Tabitha had two messages. She had more than that, but two messages that actually just spoke volumes to me and to my life. And I just want to say thank you to Tabitha for all she's done. Because, again, life has been life, and I see her. I see her. I see her, but I'm not listening. I know she's talking about cooking. Because I've been laying in the bed the last couple of days looking for the video, the first video that I saw, I realized that her and her husband have this. They're going up with Tabitha and Chance on Fridays, and they're talking about couples and relationships, and just just all kinds of things. And it was absolutely incredible. And I just want to say to each and every one of you, there may be somebody listening to this video today that is looking for something and some inspiration. And I know that we all think about the Most High. And Jasandra can attest to the fact that before I walked in her office, because I see her on the live, her and Cerise, and Tuesday, I had no idea who Tabitha Brown was. Um, and just to know that over the last couple of days, and these dimes at the bottom of this cup holder have absolutely changed my life and gave me new energy and new direction to continue doing what I'm doing for my community. I'm not ashamed to say that, I need some inspiration because, again, life has been lifing, business has been lifing, crypto has been lifing, and you guys will hear about my cryptocurrency journey on another day, not today. But again, I don't care if 4 people hear this, 5 people hear it, 5,000 people hear it. I want you all to know that you got to keep going no matter what. And I have been guilty of having some of the most incredible businesses over my last 30 years as an entrepreneur and stopping 4 feet from gold. And again, I'm going to share some of these experiences and let you all hear it. But today, I'm talking about the Tabitha Brown effect. And I just want to say thank you to her again. Thank you to you all that are listening and that are hearing this story, and know that you can do anything that you put your mind to. And I'm going to continue to strive to do good for my family and for my marriage and for my community, and to make sure, ladies and gentlemen, that we show up and we show up on the other side of money, because that's my goal. That's been my heart. And I just know that these signs are something that I needed. And thank you to Tabitha Brown's mother for showing me through those dimes last night at 1:30 a.m. that this is real, and that messages are real and beliefs are real. And I just appreciate you all. And I thank y'all for listening. I'm going to do a couple of more lives to really just share my journey and what I've gone through. And I just appreciate each and every one of you. Before I break down more, I just want to say peace and blessings. And thank you to Jasandra, Cerise, and Tuesday, Tuzday, who were on staff that introduced me to Tabitha Brown and had me keeping an eye on her. Again, watching the messenger, but not necessarily message until the last couple of days. And what she brings is absolutely incredible. And I just want to thank her. And you all have a great day. And thank you for listening to my video called The Tabitha Brown Effect, because she has had an effect on my life. Peace and blessings, family. Have an incredible rest of your day.